A draft simulation was recently released, and today we're going to dive into the details and break down the selections made, especially for the Chicago Bears. The Bears are in an interesting position with 3 picks in the first 2 rounds, one at number 103, another at 39, and the last at 41. This gives them a unique opportunity to reshape their roster and address key areas of need. But the question is, who will they pick? Before revealing the Bears' potential choices, let's take a look at the first 9 selections. The Tennessee Titans kick things off with a choice that could dramatically impact their roster. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Browns follow suit with a selection of their own, hoping to bolster their team. The New York Giants aren't far behind, grabbing a player that could fit into their system seamlessly. Then, in the 4th spot, the New England Patriots make their pick, looking to add another piece to their puzzle. At the 5th spot, the Jacksonville Jaguars get their chance to make a splash, and they pick someone who could contribute right away. The Las Vegas Raiders are up next at 6, with a choice that could help them bolster their defense. The New York Jets are also in the mix, picking 7th, and the Carolina Panthers round out the top 8 selections. The final pick in the top 9 belongs to another team that hopes to strengthen their lineup for the upcoming season. For Bears fans, the key takeaway from these early picks is that many quarterbacks and defensive players, who may not have been ideal picks at number 10, have already been chosen. The departure of some players from the draft pool works in the Bears' favor, while the loss of others might be a bit disappointing. With some notable players still available, the Bears have some excellent options to consider for the number 10 pick. The question is, if the simulation plays out as predicted, who will they select? One of the biggest discussions surrounding this draft is the possibility of choosing a player who could potentially play as a left tackle in the NFL. This question has sparked a lot of debate, and the answer isn't always clear. For some teams, the answer is a resounding yes, but for others, it's much more uncertain. There's a certain optimism surrounding a prospect who could fill this role, despite some doubts about his physical measurements. He's ranked 5th in some draft boards, and for the Bears, this doesn't present a huge issue. Even if he doesn't end up playing left tackle, there's no doubt he would be a valuable asset to the offensive line. The Bears' offensive line has already improved significantly on paper following a busy free agency period, so adding this player to the mix could be a great move. A new coach would likely love to have a player with the agility and pass protection skills that fit perfectly into their system. However, the big question is whether or not this player can adapt to any position on the line. The challenge arises when you consider that the Bears already have a left tackle, and his future is somewhat secured for now. That being said, injuries can happen, and players can underperform, which creates an opportunity for this new draft pick to step in. While the Bears do have some stability in their offensive line, the fact remains that left tackle is a crucial position that could still be up for grabs in the future. Some might argue that, even if this player isn't initially slotted in as a left tackle, he could still make a big impact on the line. There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding this potential pick, and if the Bears take him, they might have to wait a year or 2 before he can truly show what he can do. One of the more fascinating prospects is Will Campbell. There's a belief that he has the potential to be a standout player in the NFL. This belief is based on his skill set and the possibility of him becoming a key figure on the Bears' offensive line. The big question, however, is whether or not the Bears see him as a left tackle. If they don't, then where would he fit on the line? With the offensive line still facing challenges, Campbell's potential to contribute remains a topic of debate. But one thing's for sure, drafting a player like Campbell in the top 10 solely for him to sit on the bench would be a questionable decision, especially considering his potential and the expectation that he could develop into a star. If Campbell is drafted and doesn't start right away, the hope is that he will be ready to make an impact in the following season. However, projecting his exact role on the team is tricky. While there's confidence in his ability to play left tackle, it's important to note that not all teams view him that way. His physical measurements, particularly his arm length, have raised some concerns. Despite this, he's been praised for his athleticism, agility, and potential as a pass protector. If the Bears do decide to take a chance on him, it will be interesting to see how they plan to use him and whether he can become the player they hope he will be. At this point in the draft, the focus should be on players who can immediately contribute, and Campbell certainly fits that mold. However, the Bears might also consider other players who could fill other key positions. There's no shortage of options in this draft, and the Bears need to weigh the potential impact of each pick carefully. Whether they choose Campbell or another player, this draft could mark a significant turning point for the team. One of the more exciting picks comes later on at the 38th spot. This is a crucial pick for the Bears, as it provides them with an opportunity to add another key player to the roster. The wide receiver position continues to be a need for the Bears, and a player like Mecca Ibuka could be a perfect fit. Ibuka is regarded as a first-round talent, and selecting him at number 38 would be a steal for the Bears. Although wide receiver may not be the most pressing need for the team, adding a high-quality player to the group could pay dividends down the road. Ibuka is a versatile player who excels at blocking and has shown a commitment to the team, often sacrificing his own production for the benefit of others. If the Bears can grab Ibuka at number 38, they would be adding a player who can immediately contribute and help elevate their offense. Even though wide receiver isn't necessarily the most urgent position, selecting a player of Ibuka's caliber would give the Bears a lot of flexibility in their offensive scheme. Ibuka's ability to block and his selfless attitude make him a great fit for the Bears, and he could be a key player in the years to come. His addition would give the team an added dimension on offense, and it would make a lot of sense given the current state of their receiving core. As the draft continues, the Bears will have plenty of options to consider, and the decisions they make will shape the future of the franchise. Whether they choose Campbell, Ibuka, or another player, this draft has the potential to significantly improve their roster and put them in a position to compete in the coming seasons. With a solid draft class and the right picks, the Bears could finally turn the corner and become a true contender in the NFL. As the draft unfolds, the decisions the Bears make will continue to shape the team's future, and their selections in the upcoming rounds will be crucial. In the second part of the draft, the Bears will have opportunities to build on their foundation and address other areas of need. As we analyze their potential choices, it's clear that this is a pivotal moment for the franchise. With players still available that can make an immediate impact, the Bears are in a strong position to continue strengthening their roster. One of the key areas where the Bears could look to improve is on the defensive side of the ball. While the team has made strides in recent seasons, there are still glaring holes in their defensive lineup that need to be filled. The Bears have always prided themselves on having a strong defense, and adding a standout player in the draft could take them back to their defensive roots. This is a position where the Bears can make a real difference in their quest to return to championship contention. The defensive line is an area where the Bears have the potential to make a major upgrade. With the right addition, they could transform this unit into one of the most formidable in the league. The defensive line is the backbone of any great defense, and by selecting a player who can disrupt the opponent's offense, the Bears could elevate their entire defense. Whether it's a dominant pass rusher or a powerful interior lineman, this is a position that could change the dynamic of the Bears' defense for years to come. Another position the Bears could look to address in the draft is cornerback. With the NFL's increasing emphasis on the passing game, having a shutdown corner is more important than ever. The Bears have some solid players in their secondary, but a top-tier cornerback could take their defense to the next level. The team's ability to cover elite wide receivers is critical, and adding a player who can lock down opponents on the outside would make a huge difference. The right cornerback could also help to free up the pass rush by forcing quarterbacks to hold onto the ball longer, giving the defensive line more opportunities to make plays. Linebacker is another area that could use some attention. While the Bears have some solid pieces in place, a dynamic linebacker who can cover the field and make plays in both the running and passing games would be a great addition. The linebacker position has always been a strong point for the Bears, and adding another star could solidify their defense for years to come. Whether it's a traditional inside linebacker or an outside linebacker who can rush the passer, this is a position where the Bears can continue to add depth and talent. On the offensive side of the ball, the Bears' main priority has been to build a stronger offensive line to protect their quarterback and create running lanes for their backs. The team has made significant strides in improving their offensive line in recent years, but there's still work to be done. Adding a player who can step in and contribute right away would be a huge boost to the offense. The offensive line is a critical component of any successful team, and the Bears need to continue fortifying this unit. In addition to the offensive line, the Bears could also look to add another wide receiver to help support their quarterback. While the team has some solid options at wide receiver, adding a dynamic playmaker who can stretch the field and make big plays would be a valuable asset. With a strong quarterback and a solid offensive line, adding a top-tier wide receiver could elevate the Bears' offense and make them a more dangerous team. The tight end position is another area where the Bears could look to improve. While they have some solid players at tight end, adding a player who can be a consistent target in the passing game and provide solid blocking in the running game would be beneficial. A dynamic tight end could be a safety valve for the quarterback, especially on third downs and in the red zone. Tight ends who can contribute in both the passing and running games are becoming increasingly valuable in today's NFL. And adding a player who can make an impact in both areas would be a great move for the Bears. As the draft continues, the Bears will also have to think about the long-term future of the team. While immediate needs are important, the team has to keep an eye on the future and look for players who can grow into key roles over time. Developing young talent is critical to sustaining success, and the Bears need to ensure they are building for the long haul. Selecting players who can contribute right away, but also have the potential to develop into stars down the line, is the key to building a successful franchise. In the later rounds of the draft, the Bears will have the opportunity to add depth to their roster. While the first two rounds are critical for filling immediate needs, the later rounds are a chance to find hidden gems, players who may not be high-profile prospects, but have the potential to make an impact at the next level. These are the types of picks that can turn into major success stories, and the Bears will have to do their homework to find players who can contribute in key roles. As we approach the final rounds of the draft, it's important to remember that every selection matters. Whether it's a first-round pick or a late-round selection, each player has the potential to make a difference. The Bears are in a strong position to build a team that can compete for championships in the future. If they make the right choices, this draft could be the foundation for the team's success for years to come. The Bears' draft strategy will be crucial to their future success. They have the opportunity to address key areas of need while also looking to add depth and long-term potential. Whether it's adding a key piece to the defense, strengthening the offensive line, or finding a playmaker at wide receiver, the Bears have plenty of options to improve their roster. If they can make smart, strategic selections, the Bears could be on their way to building a team that will compete at the highest level in the NFL. This draft has the potential to be a game-changer for the Bears, and it will be fascinating to see how the team approaches the upcoming selections. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL world is buzzing with speculation after reports surfaced linking Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow to the Chicago Bears. While no official confirmation has been made, whispers of a potential blockbuster trade have sent shockwaves through the league. With Chicago in search of a franchise quarterback and Burrow's future in Cincinnati growing uncertain, the pieces of a stunning move seem to be falling into place. Burrow, a former number 1 overall pick and Super Bowl contender, has been the face of the Bengals since 2020. Despite his undeniable talent and record-breaking performances, Cincinnati has struggled to maintain consistency, leaving many to wonder if a fresh start could be on the horizon for the star quarterback. The Bears, who hold the number 1 pick in the upcoming NFL draft, are reportedly weighing their options, and Burrow's name has now entered the conversation in a major way. Adding fuel to the fire, sources close to the situation suggest that the Bears front office has internally discussed the feasibility of acquiring Burrow, either through a trade package centered around their top draft pick or a deal involving multiple assets. Chicago's quarterback situation has been a point of contention for years, and acquiring Burrow would instantly catapult them into playoff contention. Fans are already envisioning a future where Burrow dons the navy and orange, leading the team back to prominence. However, significant hurdles remain. Burrow is under contract with the Bengals on a historic extension, making any trade negotiations complex and costly. Cincinnati's willingness to entertain offers remains uncertain, but with the Bears holding immense draft capital and an aggressive front office, nothing can be ruled out. If a deal materializes, it would be one of the most shocking transactions in recent NFL history. As speculation intensifies, one thing is clear. The possibility of Joe Burrow heading to Chicago is too tantalizing to ignore. Whether it's just a wild off-season rumor or the beginning of a franchise-altering move, all eyes will be on the Bears and Bengals in the coming weeks. The NFL landscape could be on the brink of a seismic shift, and fans everywhere are eager to see how this story unfolds. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.